Welcome to the Pits Peak Podcast. This is your host, Trevor J. White, and I'm back. I hate saying that because it's going to bring me to the subject matter of today, but as I'm recording this, it is the first of the year. It's not actually the first, but it's the first of, it's actually the seventh, but it's the 7th of 2026. We're beginning out the year. It's the first full week in January 2026. My impossible games, my targets, all of that began on Monday. That was really the official kickoff of my week, so a couple days ago. But here's the reality. If you go back and look through a lot of the old episodes, there's not that many, and they're super sporadic. And it's like, well, what are we doing here? I'm breaking every cardinal rule of consistency and doing what you say you're going to do. Here's the wild part. Some things I'm really good at doing what I say I'm going to do, and then other things I am not good at doing what I say I'm going to do. And sometimes it'll be like in the same day. It'll just be like a different area. Like one thing I'll wake up on time, but then I won't work out like I said I was going to. Or, it's just weird stuff. It's like, it's across the board, across every area of my life. And it's like I'm two people sometimes, and that is truth. Right. I think we all experience that. I think every single one of us, we kind of have I know we have an angel and a devil sitting on our shoulders, and both of them are sometimes equally loud. And the hard part about it is they sound the same. It's not like they identify themselves and say, hey, I'm the bad version of you. You should listen to me. And the other one say, no, I'm the good version. You should listen to me. They just talk. And you get to decipher which one are you listening to and whether or not you can go after it. But as we begin this new year, I want to set the frame for what I'm going to do with this show. And first of all, I'm going to declare this publicly. No more sporadicness, right? This is going to be released once a week. And I'm going to hold myself to the fire, so I'm declaring it to you. I'm going to make sure I get it posted up on YouTube, on podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify, all the places, all the things, right? We'll probably do some short little clips too, put them on Instagram, Facebook. Although I have been on a social media fast for quite a while, I have loved it, and I honestly am a little bit nervous to not be on that fast and to start posting a few things. But I feel I have something to share, and I was listening to somebody the other day. And they said, you know what? If somebody followed me around with a camera this year, it's going to be the best documentary ever. And I listened to them, and I'm like, that's a little arrogant. But I also love it because I'm like, dude, what if we all lived our lives in a way that there was a camera watching us, and we were doing it in a way it's like, let's accomplish as much as we possibly can this year so that there's a story to tell. Right? Most of us, we don't have much of a story to tell because why? Because you don't do anything. And if you're not doing anything, then there's nothing to share. It's boring. It's like, well, what's important to you? Well, what are you doing this weekend? Right? Monday through Friday become this numbingness of no growth, no expansion, and you're the same. Right? You look, how many of you guys, right? We're at the beginning of 2026, but how many of you guys last year said things like, well, this is my year. I'm going to pull this off. This is going to be better, blah, blah, blah. And then you're in the same spot this year saying the same exact thing. You haven't actually had any results. You weren't consistent enough to actually create any real change or transformation. And what could have taken you a year to transform is actually going to take you a decade, right? And this is why people get frustrated, they get overwhelmed, they start to feel like life, like they kind of lose hope in life. And I am in that place where I'm like, no, I want to compress time. I want to compress time, and I want to build the best life that I possibly can. So this podcast, I'm going to use it this year as kind of a play-by-play about what's going on in this world. And I still love the name of it, even though I came up with it years ago, and I had a bunch of episodes and dropped them off, whatever. But Pits Peak, right? It's the idea of building something, right? It's not necessarily you got to be in this deep, dark pit, and life's got to be horrible and suck and all this. No, it's that we're building. We're building something, and my ambition is to build some big stuff this year. Like, I want to build some stuff that I look at and I'm impressed with. I really don't actually care if you're impressed. I've tried to identify that. We just moved back to Eden, Utah, and we're here, and it's where my wife grew up. She grew up in the Ogden Valley. It's a beautiful place. We just spent the last 2 years in Hawaii, which I miss Hawaii terribly, but we're back here in Utah, and pretty affluent area, right? There's lots of people with money. There's people with more money than me. There's people with less money than me. And it's weird. I got back in this world of judgment, which in Hawaii, it just wasn't there. There wasn't like this. There was not a posturing match that exists, but here there is for sure, right? People, the keeping up with the Joneses, who has the nicest house, who's building a bigger house, who's got the nicer car, who's got all these things. And it's interesting. I kind of felt myself getting wrapped into it as we first moved back here, and I had to consciously make a choice. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go down that road. It has nothing to do with competing against somebody else. It's a competition with me, and it's not just about money. It's literally about who can I be this year. What changes and transformations can I make as I go after it? I've got some pretty solid targets. I set targets inside of my body, inside of my relationship with God, inside of my relationship with my wife and my children, and then inside of my relationship with my business and inside of all that. So like I have all the maps set. And now it's a matter of just executing and doing it, right? Actually doing the things, right? This is different than a New Year's resolution, right? A lot of people, like we were talking to somebody the other day, and I was laughing my butt off because he started a New Year's resolution. And if you're watching this, Brian, I love you, but it's hilarious. He starts a New Year's resolution, no Coke Zeros, and guess what? Within the first day, he drank a Coke Zero. And then he had some justification for why he did and all that, right? This is typically how New Year's resolutions go. They're a resolution to eliminate something bad in your life, but you're really not building anything. You're really not going to any new targets. And when people meet you week over week, month over month, you're the same person. You really haven't transformed and changed. And then when they see you year over year, they're like, hey, you're the same dude. What are you up to? And they like, really nothing. They're like, nothing, right? I have prided myself on the fact that when people ask me the question, what are you up to? I look at them, and if I haven't seen them for a while, I'm like, I don't even know what to tell you because my life is so unrecognizable from where it was when I last saw you that it's hard for me to describe, right? One of the big transformations I've had over the last couple of years, which has been a very heavy pursuit of mine, is my pursuit in God, right? And my pursuit in finding my relationship with God and Jesus Christ. And in finding that, it was interesting. I had been gone for about a year, and I came back, and I'm having a conversation with one of my buddies. Actually lives just right over there, and here in Ogden Valley. But we're sitting there having this conversation, and start talking to him, and he's just like, "Dude, something's up with you, man. What's going on?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't know. I can't describe it, right?" And then I start sharing him some of the things that I've been learning, and some of the things I've been learning about myself, and about God, and about having that relationship, and how God became kind of the guiding light to the things that I do. And he was like, dude, I'm blown away. Like, I just can't even believe that you're this guy. And it's not that I was a bad guy before, but I can tell you right now, God was not the most important thing in my life like he is now. And that pursuit and the relationship, even in my meditation this morning, I have a really cool meditation for one of my really good friends, Sam Falsafi, and it was just on the thoughts and the intentions of God. And it was just amazing to feel in this space and connected and know that you can have an actual relationship with God. But anyhow, I was sharing this with my friend, and he just was like, dude, I'm blown away at the transformation, right? And so for me, that was super validating because it was like, dude, you've done it, right? At least to some level, where people that haven't seen you, they see you now, and they're like, whoa, this would be like somebody who's on a big weight loss journey, right? And you see them at one weight, and then you see them, a couple months later, and they've lost a bunch of weight, and you're like, whoa, dude, you look great. Right? And why do you look great? Because you transformed, right? You became this new version of you. So as we dive into this year, this is going to kind of be my journal. It's going to be kind of how I'm going to journal up the entire game. And I'm going to use the journal as a document and to share lessons learned and to really share real growth inside of the game of what does it mean to build something, to truly build with a ruthless commitment to go. Right? The narrative of where you're at today and then build something different. And it's not even my hope because I already know the things that I'm going to accomplish this year. I already know them. I have them set down. I have my maps. They're sitting right in front of me on the other side of the camera, big whiteboard. Why are they there? Because it reminds me, but I'm already that guy. I'm not hunting him down. I'm him. What I have to do is do the basic work every single day to become him. For the rest of the world to see, right? And for the outwardly to manifest. But I'm already him in my mind, in my thoughts, my feelings. It's visceral, right? One of my targets this year is to do a 1-rep max back squat of 495 pounds, okay? 495 pounds. To me, that sounds like a ridiculously high number. And at the same time, I know I can do it. Now, am I going to be able to do it next month? No, not a chance. Right now, I have not done a 1-rep max in forever. I've got to get the rest of my body used to it. I'm identified, my core is not even ready for that. But I can do a 10-rep max at 270, right? And I think I could go heavier. But again, my core, I know my legs are strong enough, but my core can't handle it. And so I'm doing lots of core work and all this stuff as we started into this journey this year. But I'm already the guy that can do that. That's not some hope. That's not some pipe dream. But there's going to be a lot of work every single day, no different than today or yesterday or the day before, where I've got to step in and do work that's going to be uncomfortable, and I won't quite be at the target. I won't quite. But that is not a representation of who I know I am and what I know I can do. I know if I pay the price and do the work based upon the coaches that I have, that is a reality, right? And I'm going to give it everything I possibly can. But I'm already the guy. My financial goals, I'm already the guy. I've already made the money. Now it's a matter of sitting my butt down in the office and actually doing the work, right? And this is where most people screw this up. They will set a New Year's resolutions, they'll set a target for themselves, but then they don't fall in love with the daily grind. You've got to fall in love with the grind. You've got to. If you are a lazy person, that's okay. You can fight the laziness, but if you can't work hard, right? This statement drives me crazy. It says, work smarter, not harder. Bullshit. Work smart and hard, and you'll win every time, right? It's not about being smart so you can be lazy and you can sit around and watch Netflix and not do the things you want to do, right? This is not that's not how this goes, and that's not how it's going to go for me. And so I'm super pumped about this year. But Target, I told you in Body, that's probably my most favorite target. Like, that's the one I'm the most pumped up about. And so Body is really kind of the trigger to the rest of my year, right? And I already said, so I'm excited. It's the 7th of January, right? Like I said, I started my Impossible game this week, which was Monday the 5th, right? So this is the day 3 of starting into it. And I'm already feeling the pull from the old me wanting to latch on to some old patterns and habits. It's crazy. So one of the things I did is this Monday, my wife and I are doing it together, and I'm going to highly recommend you do this. I've done it before, but we are going into a 5-day water fast. So we're just drinking water for 5 days. And there's a lot of things that happen to your body, but I'm doing it for a kind of a reset of me, right? It's kind of like I'm using it as the first of the year. I'm using it as this reset into just how my body operates, etc. So then I can start, feeding it and clean food and doing the things, following the programs that I have in front of me that are already worked up and built up to support my target, which that 1 rep max at 495. But this fast, I tell you what, we're on day 3. It's I'm not really hungry. More so, I find myself that I enjoy eating, but I don't at the same. It's really weird, but like certain times of the day, especially at night, it's just like weird. I feel unsettled. I feel like, well, I should be doing something right now. Energy has been down. My wife's energy has actually been just fine. So she's obviously more of a superstar than I am, but my energy has been down. And so it's been tough. So today's workout was, I don't want to say I sandbagged it because I didn't, but I didn't have anything in the tank. There was nothing there. I mean, I got out of the car to walk into the gym and I got lightheaded and I'm like, oh geez. I'm like, holy crap. And yesterday I did a really strong leg day and I was getting lightheaded the whole time through it. And I'm like, I'm going to freaking kill myself if I don't be careful. So I'm being smart about it. But anyhow, so if you've never done a fast for multiple days, I would recommend it. The one I did before was 8 days. That was too long. 8 days was too long, but that's what God told me to do. So I just followed God's plan, but that really wasn't the physical benefits of it were done at about day 5. And then the next 3 days were literally not actually physically that good for me because I didn't have a lot of fat, so I started eating muscle, right? Which is not what I want. That's going to be counter to anything else I'm doing. But anyhow, if you go do some research on it, it's kind of interesting what your body does when you go through a multiple day fast and how at the beginning it's kind of in chaos, but then it actually settles in and it will literally just suck all the fat and you're good to go. And as long as you don't go past 5 or 6 days, you don't really lose any muscle at all. It's literally sucking, resetting your metabolism, resetting all of your cycles, and it's just eating fat for fuel. And if you're like me, you got a little bit of fat on you. Everybody does, unless you're literally going on stage today for a fitness show. Everybody's got some fat, and your body will actually eat it up. Now, would I say this is a good thing to do all the time so that you can lose weight? No. I would not recommend this all the time, but once a year, maybe once a quarter, probably a good thing for you to do. So it's what I'm doing. So I'll let you know how that goes in the next show, when we wrap that up. Because one thing I screwed up last time was I did not refeed correctly, and I just went right into eating carbs and all sorts of stuff, and I have never been more uncomfortable and in more pain in my gut than that night when the fast was over and I'm eating solid food, and yeah, I was an idiot. So we're not going to be an idiot this time because I don't want to go down that road. But here's the reality. This show's for you if you are excited to build and grow something and you want to do it with somebody else and you want to hear stories about somebody else who's going to share the real truth. right? I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm going to show you when I'm winning. I'm going to share when I'm losing. I'm going to show you where my mindset's at and where it's not at, right? One thing's been interesting, one small little caveat. We'll end today's show. But one small thing that's been really weird that I've mastered in the past, but somehow I've identified now it's not mastered, and it's the getting up in the morning. It's the alarm clock. Not that I'm not doing it, but it's hard. It's hard to get up early. I'm like, what in the world, right? Unless I have some compulsion reason, like I have a meeting to go to or something, to get up 5 a.m., which is my time, that's been challenging. I'm like, how is that possible? Because I was the guy a year and a half, 2 years. I'm getting up at it was 4:45, then it was 4:30, then it was 4:20, then it was 4 a.m. And I just kept pushing a little bit earlier to give me a little bit more time. And it was comfortable. It was normal. It was into it. So it's a great testament that you lose what you have, right? You build discipline up in certain areas. And if you don't keep using it and you allow the old stories to come back in and haunt you, you're going to lose it, and it's going to happen. And it's going to suck, because then you're going to be like, what have I done? I've gone backwards in the game. So this brings us to a wrap of today's show, and I'm excited for the journey. This will be once a week release. I don't know. We'll probably drop it on Friday is when we'll drop the shows, but tune in every single week. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Say what's up. Give me some love, and maybe tell me, what are you doing? What are you up to that's going to be a big deal for you this year? And let's go on this journey together. So that's all I got. This is your boy, Trevor White, with the Pit to Peak podcast. We'll see you next time.